Hey travelers, Mag, I, and Inextricable Fate here on day 238 of our trip around the United States. This morning, we woke up in Reno knowing that our route has 360 miles ahead of us. Fortunately, we've already covered over 200 of that, coming down out of Reno just to the edge of the border of Nevada and California, and we are ready to officially begin on our targets for the day, now already past halfway through our day. We're going to kick things off in Benton, just across the state line, and from there, we'll be working our way south toward Death Valley, through Big Pine, and then ending our day in Lone Pine. We only have 4 pages to pursue today, but they're tough pages along the edges of the mountains dropping down into Death Valley. And we're fortunate enough that the roads are not covered in snow, but it still may be a little tricky to get some of these caches. I think we have our work cut out for us today, but no matter how it goes, I know that we're going to end our day staged to begin in Death Valley tomorrow morning. I can't wait to see what this part of California has in store because we've been driving all day long and I need to get some geocaches. So let's get out there and go find them. Come on, let's go.
Our long drive through Nevada this morning is intended to bring us completely around the northern central Sierra Nevada mountain range. It is a long stretch of desert road between Reno, down through Fallon Station, and continuing south into Hawthorne. The shore of Walker Lake provided a great place to stretch our legs for a minute before completing the last stretch of our first leg into the city of Hawthorne. After hours of driving, we felt the compelling need to stamp at least one logbook to officially start our day. While making that find, we also noticed an adventure lab on the map, so decided we would pursue its 4 stages through town. The first of which brought us directly into Veterans Memorial Park. Dedicated in May of 2006, the Veterans Memorial found here that is the centerpiece of the park is dedicated to those who protect and serve. Immediately across the street from there was not only the stage to another adventure lab, but also the Mineral County Museum. This county museum has over 15,000 square feet of display space, jam-packed with history of both Hawthorne and Mineral County. The collection includes antique clothing, mining equipment, minerals, documents, photographs, horse-drawn carriages, and fire equipment from the 17th to early 18th centuries. The history featured here actually begins as a western part of Utah, because gold was discovered in Aurora in 1860, 1 year before the territory of Nevada was officially formed. By 1861, many miners had begun to arrive in the area, and California and Nevada both tried to claim the area as their own. At one point, Aurora was the county seat of Mono County, California, and Esmeralda County, Nevada at the same time. Nevada eventually won the contest, officially claiming the area as part of the state. Going back even further than the establishment of the county, you can also learn about the history of the Walker River Paiutes, the original peoples who had inhabited these lands long before the written records. Our final stage of the Adventure Lab brought us to the Hawthorne Ordinance Museum, another great museum that's offering free entry to the public. Their mission is to collect, preserve, and exhibit in a patriotic and educational environment those items that have had a significant impact on the freedom of our country. The primary point of focus is the Hawthorne Ammunition Depot, recognized for its ongoing contributions and support of the United States Armed Forces. The museum showcases a plethora of demilitarized ammunition and other military equipment from the U.S. Navy, Army, Marine Corps, and Air Force. This museum can trace its roots all the way back to 1928 when Hawthorne housed the Naval Ammunition Depot. During World War II, the depot located out here in this remote location played a significant role in housing ammunitions for the war in the Pacific. It became a maneuvering area for rockets, bombs, and ammunition needed in the war. By 1945, Hawthorne claimed 104 square miles under the Navy, with nearly 6,000 people working here. After the war, though, much of that land was declared excess and turned over to the Bureau of Land Management. It was not until 1977 that the U.S. Navy turned over the depot to the Army. Shortly thereafter, it was redesignated and became a government-owned facility that would be operated primarily by contractors. To this day, the Hawthorne Army Depot continues to offer support to the Joint Forces by receiving, storing, issuing, and demilitarizing ammunitions. The depot has a long history with many military units, and that history shines through with many of the different pieces of equipment and items on display throughout the museum. The Sierra Nevada mountain range is the dividing line between Nevada and California. Regardless of where we chose to re-enter California from Nevada, we would have to cross at least a part of this mountain range. Our hope was that by coming around some of the more severe northern mountain ranges, we would find ourselves on traversable roads into California. And sure enough, we found that even though we were near the snow line, the road itself was very well maintained. With our ears still on pop, following such a rapid gain in elevation, we stopped to take a breath of relief as we saw ourselves leaving Nevada and officially entering California to begin our geocaching for the day. Just on the other side of the state line sign, still high in the mountains but no longer rising, we pushed our way further into DeLorme Page 78 to Benton and Benton Hot Springs. We were already aware that these would both be small towns, but we didn't realize that they were counting quite so accurately. Who exactly is the half person? It may be late in the day, but we are both ready to start getting out of the car and making some finds. We stopped to track down not only everything on our target list, but a few extra additions we saw along the way as well. Neither of us is about to turn down the opportunity for an ammo can in the desert. And we hold our breath as we take a peek inside and see what kind of swag might be awaiting potential finders wanting to make a trade and walk away with a souvenir. Even Aichan, well rested from her long morning nap, decided to forego her afternoon nap to join us in each of the hunts. It did not take too terribly long before we topped off our fun meters and had our fill of geocaches in the area. Just one more grab and we'll hop around the mountains to the next page.
Always love to find an ammo can. Look at that beauty. Just sitting there, waiting for us to come along and make a find. Hello, Lily. Let's see what's going on inside. Shall we? There's not much in here, but I think that we could probably just drop a pocket full of something in here. What do we got? There we go. There's some of that. There, you can put that. We got some toys down here too. We got airplane. All right. That is looking a little better.
DeLorme Page 79 features the least amount of land compared to any other DeLorme page in the Golden State DeLorme Challenge. In fact, from the northern border of California to the edge of the page is less than 10 miles of traversable roadway. There are exactly 2 geocaches in this page, and despite Inextricable Fate and I having found the next 2 closest just south of them, they are already in the next page. This meant for us one more drive through the Sierra Nevada mountains before we were done playing around in this range. The roads along this stretch, leading through Oasis, past Zurich, and into Big Pine, bring you far up into the mountains. This was both the best part of our driving for the day and the most nerve-wracking, as we had to be extra careful on these thin, windy mountain roads. Just like the mountain roads leading into Benton, we were very happy to find that all of the snow had been cleared off the road and the conditions were in good shape. Like yesterday, we all enjoyed the view that the snow-topped landscape provided, but unlike yesterday, Aichan enjoyed the walk significantly more. Rather than plodding through large banks of snow, she was able to easily negotiate around each patch and find her way down the rocky slopes. She never decided to take her afternoon nap either, instead deciding to get out at each stop with us and help us look for the geocaches. Although Inextricable Fate's toes may be getting ready to fall off of his feet in this blustering wind coming off the snow-topped mountains, that did not stop him either from getting out here and helping to make each find. Each of the ammo cans that we found from here on out had enough swag to satisfy anybody looking for a trade. Our only interest with each of the finds was making sure that we had a logbook to sign to claim yet another Californian page. We're just glad that outside of DeLorme Page 79, there are plenty of options to choose from here as we continue to make our way south. By the time we had made it through Big Pine, the sun was beginning to set, allowing us just enough time to pursue one more virtual near the Tinnemaha Reservoir. At the end of this short walk, you can find a wildlife viewpoint that, if visited during the right time of year, will allow you to see a unique breed of elk. We were not here at the right time of year for the elk though, but we still did enjoy getting to see some cows in the field and a beautiful sunset over the snow-capped mountains.
And there it goes. That sun is sinking down over the horizon on the mountains behind us. It was a great day spent on the road. We began our day in Reno, and then we began driving pretty much all morning long. Once we crossed into California though, the geocaching began in earnest. Since our pages were so close together, there were no more long jumps at all. Each one was about half an hour at the most, and then we were on the next page target, if not closer. We've managed to cover all 3 of our pages now that we're here, and we have 1 left to go as we make our way down to Lone Pine. We'll have no problem meeting that, but as always, we won't be able to make it with any daylight left on our side. It was a very scenic day making our way through the mountains, and the last day that we'll be spending driving through the mountains, as tomorrow we're going to drop down and begin our last 2 days in California, exploring our way through Death Valley. I can't wait because it's one of those places that's been on my list for a very long time, and getting down there below sea level after coming from about 7,000 feet of elevation today is going to be quite a change. Thank you guys for joining us. Like this video, subscribe to stay tuned for daily updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.